Okay, so we're going to have a standardised warm-up for the week, and what we'll do here is get Sandra to demonstrate her bird dog hold, right? So opposite hand, opposite leg, and you can see here she has her toes turned down, which is nice. So not in this position, they're down, and the hip is flat, right? So if I was looking from the side or across, see a flat hip. I'll get her to demo lifting up the hip a little bit. You'll see this is what normally happens. So push the hip down, nice and strong in the front and the arm, and tucked in her stomach. So if I was going to stand up on her back now and do a jump, she'd have to squeeze her stomach tight to stop that happening, right? So I'll get her to flip around there, you'll see that from the other side. So same thing, opposite hand, opposite foot. We see again, the foot is down low, so you can see how close her foot is to the floor, and you can also see that the foot is below the hip, okay? So foot below hip, flat pelvis, straight arm. Okay, side plank. So I'm going to do this in the elbow, and the reason we're going elbow is we get better core activation and it's the lateral side of the glute. So under here, the side of our hip connects directly into the side of the core, and it's all squeezed tight. And if I look down the side of Sandra, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder. Okay, and we'll flip her over the other side, facing her back towards you. There we go. That's it. We'll see it from a backside view, right? So same thing, side, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, lateral side of the glute into the core, okay? So 30 seconds each side. Next one is a curl up. Where a curl up is different from a sit up, I'm going to try and ask Sandra first of all to do 2 sit-ups, and what you're going to see is her stomach rising up. So this section of her stomach is pushing out. Okay, take a rest, and that means the abdominal wall, the very outside abs part you can see, is crunching. And what I want to do this time, even just lying on the ground, is do the opposite, like a bodybuilder, suck in her stomach. So do even less. So when you go to sit up, I want to see this section move down, down and in. And what we're actually seeing here is the pelvic floor coming up and in, this way, contracting, and a very small curl up, okay? So I'll talk a little bit more in the video about pelvic floor, but the goal here is just a little tuck in of the pelvis, slight raise of the shoulders. That's it. It's such a tiny movement, right? So we'll do 10 of them, and then we'll move on to glute bridge, single leg. This is difficult for some people, and what we'd ask you to do is, if that was Sandra's normal foot position, so you can continue on there, put your foot back where it was. So this is something where we're quite comfortable in, and we can use the quad a lot. So I can feel her quads quite active. So if we bring her back down, ask her to bring that heel forward, dig in hard and concentrate on the back part. This gets less active, the glute squeezes in the hamstring. So if you're getting cramping in the hamstring here, in the back of the leg, it means the glute's underactive and not firing. And be conscious that you're not using the quad. And as you can see, she's got the heel dug in there. 30-second hold, and we go other side. Same thing. Get used to moving the heel a bit more this way. And what you're going to get is underneath the hamstring and the glute firing. 30 seconds each side on that. And then we flip her over to scap push-ups, and I'm going to ask her to be on her knees for this, because what it can mean is we can get a better movement through the shoulder. So what we're seeing there is a squeeze together of the shoulders. And if you actually faced the camera and did that, so if your head was towards the camera and you dropped your head a little bit, we'd actually get to see what's happening here in the shoulders. Coming together, driven apart, coming together, driven apart, right? 20 of them. Moving towards a deficit calf raise. So in the deficit calf raise, what we're looking to do is, so if I get Sandra to stand on that with her heel touching the floor, what we have here is a really stretched position of the Achilles tendon at the back and the calf. And I'm going to ask her, when she pushes through the ball of her foot to fire, then I'm going to ask her to squeeze her ass at the same time. And up and hold and back down. So full stretch, turn it off, weight at the bottom, and when you fire, glute fires hard at the same time. And what should happen, she should feel the calf muscle firing, the inside of the knee, beside the kneecap, and the glute at the same time. So what we're trying to do is correct the timing of the body, because a lot of people don't get glute activation when they raise their calves, which means when they do Olympic lifting and they jump from the floor, the glutes aren't firing efficiently in the jump. So concentrate on squeezing the glute at the exact same time you fire, and you see the way Sandra pauses at the top for a second or two, just to reinforce that pattern, okay? So we go for either 20 double leg or 10 single leg. If you're confident to go single leg, you can go 10 each side. And the last one, inchworm to push up. Sandra does this quite well, so she'll walk her hands out, and as she walks her feet in, tiptoes them in, the weight comes over onto the front of the body. So you'll see it in the way back when she's doing it. Now what's going to happen here, as she inches in, there's weight on the front of the arms, okay? So she's transferring the weight in the front of the body while tiptoeing in. So we'll do that 10 times. Walk the hands out, walk the feet to the hands. All right, that's the warm-up.